Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Wherever you are, remember you have greatness inside of you. Welcome back to another Habs Daily News with the hockey coach, Guru Coach Frenchy. Today, episode number 393. What a minute, coach. First of all, we're going to talk about the Montreal Canadiens news, following about a Habs salary cap exercise for you. And finally, guys, don't miss my Habs mock trade proposal. Be ready. I can't wait to hear your comments about my proposal. But before we start, we invite you, please don't forget to click on the likes, subscribe to the Hockey Nation Live Show, and leave us a comment about this episode. And let's dive in talking about my first subject of the day. My first subject of the day is about the Habs news, and we want to talk about the main camp. It was day number one for the training camp for the Montreal Canadiens. We know they have 72 players during that camp, and it was all about day number one with the physical fitness testing. We did not get the result yet. We definitely give you more information about this the next couple of days. And that's it. That's all for the day number one. Nothing happening after that. Only we got is a media session, a press conference, and it was about Ken Hughes. Talk a little bit more information about the Montreal Canadiens news. And the first one he talked is about Christian Dvorak. He expects the 28 years old veterans for the Montreal Canadiens, missing the beginning of the season, go to returning only at the beginning of the November with the team. And that's maybe helping a little bit more the salary cap for the Montreal Canadiens. Second thing, he talked about the trade between the Vancouver Canucks and the Montreal Canadiens. Montreal got from the Canucks Tanner Pearson, a third-round pick 2025. In return, Vancouver got the goaltender Casey DeSmith. He mentioned Hughes. Pearson not going to take any spot for anybody in the roster. Secondly, he said Vincent Cavalier talked to Ken Hughes about the fact he played with him a long time ago with the Los Angeles Kings. He remember how Pearson was really great as a leader, and of course his work ethic is really good. And that's pretty much what Ken Hughes talked about during his press conference. He mentioned a little bit about the fact Montreal is not targeting the playoff, but he would love to have the team stay in the race far they can. And of course, it's all about the development for the upcoming season. Following Ken Hughes, we got Martin St. Louis. Guys, you have to love the talk of Martin St. Louis during the press conference. I embrace his talk. I enjoy when he talked. Yesterday, he talked about la chaise, and English is the chair. And he talked about the baby step when you're born, and then you develop to growing, and you become a little bit a bigger child or a bigger kid, and then you become a teenager. So he talked about this for the reflect on the Montreal Canadiens for where they are right now. And as a hockey coach, he expect him to be a little bit more consistency for his job for the upcoming season. That's really he focusing. But you have a chance, you can go on the website of the Montreal Canadiens to listening that press conference from Ken Hughes and Martin St. Louis. Finally, my last news of the day is about the videos. What are you talking about? But the Montreal Canadiens players did all the video and the picture for the upcoming season. We know when they score a goal, they make some kind of expression, and it's all about the scoreboard for the Montreal Canadiens. And let's move on for my second subject of the day. My second subject of the day, guys, I want to show to you an exercise for the salary cap for the Montreal Canadiens. The goal of Ken Hughes is to use Carey Price and the book before the beginning of the season. He does not want to start the season with a long-term injury reserve with Carey Price. So what I did an exercise for you. Hopefully you're going to understand, and hopefully Ken Hughes listen to me right now. Maybe we take some tips for my exercise about the salary cap. First of all, guys, the Montreal Canadiens have 28 players in the roster. The salary cap is right now at 89,677,916, and they are over 6.177916 at that moment. So what I did from that, I sent Dvorak on the long-term injury reserve at $4.5 million. That will help Montreal to drop at $1.7 million. Those numbers is all approximately. Then from that, I cut Whiteman. I sent down in Laval RHP, Jacka, and Barron just for the day number one of the season Montreal Canadiens with those four players out of the lineup, that bring Montreal Canadiens at $3.5 million. And then from that gave Montreal Canadiens a plus $1.8 million. That's helping the Montreal Canadiens to be under their salary cap. But this is a great news. Then from that, when the season starts, you put Carey Price on the long-term injury reserve. From this $10.5 million minus the 1.8, that equal plus $8.7 million, guys, when Montreal Canadiens get at that moment. That's pretty good. Then you bring back Jacky from Laval. Then you bring back Devorak. Both together, one they are play for the Montreal Canadiens. That dropped the salary cap to Montreal again plus $3.4 million. That gave to Ken Hughes some flexibility for the upcoming season. This is great for Ken Hughes to ever he want to make some change during the season. And that's what happening, guys, for my salary cap exercise. Now, you can modify this if you put Pearson and the long-term injury reserve. That will be possible to keep RHP at the beginning of the season. But again, do not worry about RHP, O'Barron, and Laval for the beginning of the season. At some point, going to have some other injury, and they're going to get a call up. And that's what is the best scenario for Ken Hughes. Remember, this is the goal number one, is to start the season with Carey Price on the salary cap before they move him on the long-term injury reserve. That will open up approximately $3 million to $3.5 million for Ken Hughes. He can use at some point during the season. I would love to hear from you guys. What do you think about my exercise for the salary cap? Any question you have about salary cap? I'm pretty good. I can definitely helping you if you have some question for the subject of salary cap. Let's move on now, guys, for my third subject of the day. Oh, are you ready, Hockey Montreal fans? Because this is the biggest mock trade proposal of the summer. Ladies and gentlemen, the Anaheim Ducks have some problem to sign Trevor Zegras. I'm not worried about that. I want to get Zegras. So what do you have, coach? I make a trade, guys, between the Anaheim Ducks and the Montreal Canadiens. Montreal Canadiens send to Anaheim Ducks Kaden Cooley and the first round pick 2024. I know, it could hurt. In return, Montreal get Trevor Zegras and the defenseman Tristan Luneau. That's what you get in return. Now, what is the benefit and the risk for the Montreal Canadiens? And that's what's happening. Montreal Canadiens going to take advantage of young players, 22 years old, and the last two seasons, 61 points, 65 points, and only 21, 22 years old. Play center, play winger, but the risk of that trade is Montreal Canadiens could lose possibly the lottery for the NHL Draft 2024. But they get a solid players, and in the sense that we lose Kaden Cooley. Guys, we have a lot of left defensemen in Montreal. Start first of all, Madison, Harris, and Jacky for the beginning of the season. You can call up William Trudeau. You can call up Baudin. You can call up Norlander. Next year, you can get as a left defenseman Lane Hudson, Adam Engstrom. I'm not saying they are ready. You can understand what I'm talking about for the left defenseman. So to get a solid player, you have to give something good. And I think Cooley could become that player to get a player like Trevor Zegras. I can't wait to hear your comments. I'm sure some of you said, Coach, you're crazy. Some of you said, Coach, this is a great idea. I don't know what you're going to talking about. I don't know what is your opinion about this, but this is my mock trade proposal. Don't forget to leave me a comments about that proposal. It does conclude all the subject we have. Thanks for watching another Habs Daily News with the hockey coach, Frenchy. But before we leave, we would like to invite you. Don't forget, please, to click on the like, subscribe to the Hockey Nation Live Show, and leave us a comments about this episode. And of course, you have greatness inside of you, and we wish you an amazing, great, blessing day, everybody.